Sleepers Podcast, Friday, July 18th. Riley Davis live from Milwaukee. How are you? How's the conference going? How's my favorite city on earth?
Milwaukee is great. It has actually won me over a little bit more this time around. I've gone to some cool spots, some cool restaurants, some cool bars. Conference has been great. I have been Milwaukeeing because I have not only been honoring the Lord, I have also been adding some subscribers to the Sleepers Media YouTube page. I have played basketball twice. First day out here on Monday. Great runs. I could not miss. I shot better than I ever have in my life before. Yesterday was a different story. I think I went like 1 for 10 from beyond the arc and could not buy a bucket and was a little bit neutralized. They put some size on me. I had a guy who was like 6'3" guarding me with a long wingspan. My guy Corey, who works with crew out in Toledo, he's a hooper. So yeah, I was neutralized yesterday, but it's been a really good trip. But of course, always happy to hop on this show, talk some hoops with you. Glad to give you an update on your favorite city, Greg. I'll have some cheese curds in your honor later today.
Thank you, as you should. So you could say you're the Omer Meyer of religious rec league pickup runs?
I love that comp. I would love to have the passing and ball handling of Meyer, but yes, the comp is accurate in that I went 1 for 10 yesterday from three.
Hot one day, cold the next. I get it.
Yes.
It is what it is. Where's your favorite place you've been in Milwaukee this trip?
So I went to this restaurant called Cafe Benelux that is it's like French themed. I will probably head back to get a burger there. They have some really good looking French food and just like this crazy burger selection. But of course, I got to talk the fancy beer. Crazy beer selection. I don't know if you've ever heard of this beer called Chimay. It's like Belgian style. I actually don't know where it's made, but it's some sort of imported beer, but it's like a worldly renowned beer. And I've never been a fan of Belgian style beers before, but they had on their menu, it said it was one of four places in the state of Wisconsin that has a Chimay Tower, which I assume was just like a stack of Chimay draft beers. And so I got that as truly one of the best beers I've ever had. Definitely plan on making a return back here before I head home.
Nice. I see. This is why I love Wisconsin. I love the state. It's such a happy place. They just have four different locations with Chimay towers. It's incredible. You know?
It slept on. I feel kind of bad for how much I made fun of Milwaukee 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
There's
it's
more
okay.
to
We
do.
all evolve.
There's more to do than I realized, and like it has parts of it that are bustling. Oh, and like where we've been hooping, we've played at the Marquette Rec Center, and Marquette's a pretty sick campus.
No, there's. I mean, people made fun of me for it, but there's a river that runs through the city. It's on one of the Great Lakes. I think Lake Michigan, I believe. But it's yeah, it has everything I would want. Like if I was looking for a place to like bring a family to, it's like big city enough that you get some of those vibes. You got a pro sports team, multiple college teams right there. There's water. There's places to go like do a little lake house weekend type thing. Great food, great drinks, very kind people. I mean it genuinely. It's my favorite place on earth. So I'm jealous you get to be there. You're also you claim you're in a hotel room. It
I am.
looks to me like a beautiful Airbnb. So can we get like a little panorama view? Like show us the digs right now, Riley.
Yeah, so we have a replacement ring light right here. Very nice desk. So here's where you see the hotel bed. I'm sorry, I have not made it this morning, and I put a do not disturb sign on the door so that we could knock out 3.5, 4 hours of videos without the housekeeping coming in. So probably will not get it made today, but that's okay. I feels very empty though, very lonely. I miss my wife and son. I've had fun. I'm ready to go home.
Yeah, I
Not to
hear
get
you.
sentimental, but I'm like of course I miss my wife. She's my best friend, but I like really miss my son because I just want to like give him a hug. And when he's FaceTime right now. He just wants me to sing this song from Bluey. I don't know if you're familiar with Burger Dog.
No.
It's his right now he has two things he wants. He says Burger Dog, or he says watch shoot ball. And anytime we like to limit screen time, but anytime he says watch shoot ball, you best believe I'm turning on basketball highlights in some capacity. But it's just different when you're FaceTiming your kids versus when you get to actually be with them. And so that's been tough, but good week nonetheless.
That's why we get along. We're wired the same way. I feel like as dads, at least if you're you or I, you do hit a certain point where it's just like, yeah, whatever I'm doing is fun, but I want to go back to where my roots are.
Yep,
And we're
exactly.
family men at heart. Although you did just turn into Chance the Rapper there for a second with that. I love my wife. Ah!
I do though, and I want that to be known.
This is true. I applaud you. I didn't mean to make fun of that. I love golf
It's
too.
okay.
Okay. Oh, quickly, I feel like I got to repay your parent story with a parent story for me. So,
Please do.
Murph loves golfing now. So I took her on the course with me for the first time last week, and we were terrified of how this would work because, she's still pretty young to like try and make it through 9 holes riding in a cart without like losing her mind or having either a meltdown or just wanting to go home. But I kid you not, it was like a 2 hour ordeal where she just had the time of her life. Like every time she's in the car, she would go fast. And then as soon as we rode, she had the biggest smile on her face. I would teach her like, stay in the cart until we get to the green. And then by like midway through the round, she'd be like, to the green, daddy, to the green. And then she'd get out with her little Tykes putter and bring it
Oh
with me
man.
and want to tap it in. It was awesome. And now we got home. We did this like 4 or 5 days ago. And every night since then, around dinner time, because that's when we went, she would go, golfing with daddy, golfing with daddy. It's just the
That is the
best.
cutest. That's the best, man. I shout out to my niece. Can't wait to meet you in person one day. But this is not to one up your golfing story. This is just giving a shared experience. So when I was in Bald Head Island a couple weeks ago, this also ties into some Bluffs lore. So Bald Head Island is like off the coast of North Carolina. It's near Wrightsville Beach, but you have to take a ferry to get on the island. Meaning once you get to the island, there are no cars there, only golf carts. So everybody drives around the island in golf carts. And all Theo wanted to do that week we were there was ride the golf carts. And he kept saying, ride the bus, ride the bus. He kept finding a bus, and all he wanted to do was ride the bus.
Dude,
It's
golf carts
funny.
are a cheat code for kids. Like
I
I'm
know
starting
what
to think
it,
we need to invest in one and just ride around the neighborhood with Murph. It's crazy.
like what is it? I don't know why that resonates so much more with their little kid minds than riding in a car does, but there's just something about it that's novel to them and that yeah, they eat up, I guess.
Yeah, it's fun. It's pretty crazy. All right. Well, thank you for giving us the hotel room tour and confirming that you're not lying that you're in a hotel room. Would you like to respond before we move to the comments portion of the episode? Would you like to respond to the critics who are questioning if you've done anything for crew this week?
Yes, that is, I have. My wife is one of those critics who's like, "Oh, it sounds like you've been busy doing sleeper stuff and playing basketball and going to restaurants." I'm like, "I promise I've been going to the sessions. I have been taking notes. I have been putting into practice what I'm learning and thinking of how I can better be a team leader at the University of North Carolina. So fear not. I'm still locked in."
All right, it's good to hear. The people needed to hear that on record, Riley. Let's get to the show. Do you have a YouTube comment by chance today? Would you like me to pull one?
Hold on. I want to find one. Do you have any musical numbers prepared, Greg?
I have no musical numbers today other than I am writing a rap, which could be construed as a diss track that I asked you to feature on. So give us till next week, and maybe next week, Riley Friday, we can unveil that.
Thank you for stalling. I'm really, dang, no comment here. All right, give me a comment. Give me a comment. No comment. Oh man, I'm sorry. This is Carter's Lane. Took baseball 200 years to figure out making the bat bigger makes it easier to hit. Shout out baseball. Shout out home run derbies. Shout out Cal Raleigh. Um, I guess that's really all we got right now is baseball until football starts. So
Dog
better
days.
get used to it.
Mid-July dog days, it is what it is. Yeah, some people in the Discord were going back and be like, they didn't love that I was dissing Cal Raleigh a little bit. Listen, I'm impressed with what he's doing. I just like he's not a top 2,000 baseball player ever. So like he's had 230 home run seasons. Joined the club of 5,000 others that have done that since I've been alive. I'm happy for him. But like if he goes and breaks Barry Bonds' home run record this year, that's insane. I made this comp. It's like if Julius Randle averaged 38 points a game randomly, you know?
Yeah, that I like that comp a lot actually.
Yeah, it's
Where
like
it was,
good player, you're fun, but why are you setting an all-time sport record right now?
right,
You know?
right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. To the Discord. Join the Discord if you'd like, or don't. Whatever. Really doesn't matter. If you want to interact with us and members of Sleepers Got Talent, by the way, there's a bunch of those guys in there. Quickly before we do the comments, you were up late last night with us doing Sleepers Got Talent semifinals round. We interviewed all of our final five and ultimately had to make some very tough eliminations without spoiling anything because this is going to come out next Tuesday. Do you have any thoughts on what we witnessed last night from our final five.
I thought all of them they had good poise when dealing with the interview process from me, Ralph, and Dion. You could sense some nervousness, some apprehension when they were called into banter, which I get, honestly. The first couple times I did podcasts, I like my voice would get a little shaky because you're just not used to it and you haven't done it before. And it's like, oh, shoot, this is getting re-recorded. And if I mess up, we're not starting this over. You just got to roll with it. So I think they all acquitted themselves well, battling through any nerves or any sort of maybe inexperience, I would say, behind a mic, which granted that probably won't be a huge part of what they do, but we still like to gauge where people's personalities are at, how is it going to be interacting with them and working with them. And I think like the group of guys that we have assembled, they all seem like good hangs. They all seem like people who, if I was in town in their city, I'd probably say, hey, let's go grab a meal together or something, and it wouldn't be awkward or anything like that. So I'm impressed at how they've handled themselves, mostly the younger crowd, which shout out to Wink. Wink is a great contestant, and I think something that we admire is his experience, his maturity, and everything. But I think I just got to give a little added respect to the younger ones for holding themselves quite professionally when most of them are in their teens or young 20s.
Yeah, I had fun doing it. It's honestly humbling having some really creative, good people that want to be a part of what we're doing. So it's been really fun. Better results than I expected overall. And yeah, I think it's one of those things. The banter I thought would be the most difficult part of this for them.
Hmm.
And I thought everyone did better than I expected overall as a group. There was no like really awkward, weird, horrible banter. It was good. So I'm excited for people to see it next week. The competition has gotten really real. It is, and there's a couple surprise twists and turns in this episode. I'll also add that.
Can I give a teaser for Eli's banter?
Please.
This is what impressed me the much. There is a musical number for people
There,
to do.
there's
That
a
was
musical number. There are two like Big Brother Survivor-esque game show twists in this. It's getting cutthroat. It's getting good. All right, to the Discord for the comments. We start with Manovich, but I think he said I pronounced his name wrong, so maybe it's Manovich. Sorry, Mano. In celebration of this being the worst week of the year for sports, what's your worst personal sports memory or moment? For me, it's when I cried in front of my entire 12U All-Star team after we got eliminated because I was certain we were going to the Little League World Series that year. That combination of pain and embarrassment is something you don't forget even 20 years later. Also, the 30-0 run in the Elite Eight, that sucked.
yeah, let's see. For me personal in sixth grade church ball, I got called for like 4 or 5 travels in a row and cried as I went back to the bench. That was probably like top embarrassment. After I lost my last high school football game in the semifinals in a game that we could have won, felt like it was just in our grasp. Ended up losing by 2 touchdowns though. The other team was just better. Had a quarterback named Morgan Roberts who went on to play at Yale and just looked like an Ivy League QB. This kid was a stud though. I cried. I think it's like top five most amount of tears I've ever shed in my life was after my last high school football game.
I can totally picture Morgan Roberts' headshot right now. I don't think I've ever cried over sports, which is kind of crazy looking back on it. Maybe I'm forgetting something when I was little. I have two quick answers that come to mind. The first is a story I've told on this before. I was on just like a youth soccer team, probably like U8. And I remember our team was nasty. Like a bunch of my friends went on to be like really successful high school soccer players and play travel and all that. Soccer was not my sport. But the way our season worked that year, we rotated every game. Somebody different was the goalie. And we were undefeated all year, like 9-0, going to the final game of the season, trying to do this like undefeated year. It was our first real team sport. And I was the goalie the final game of the year. We played the only other good team, but we didn't know they were good coming in. We lost 9-1 and I gave up 9 goals. And I went home just being like, was I really that bad or did something different happen here? But it can't be my most devastating performance because I didn't care about soccer. Like even after going home at that, I was like, yeah, whatever. That sucked. The real answer, I think, for me was high school tennis. So I won 3 state titles, humble brag. But by my senior year, now I'm kind of like, not saying big man on campus, but like in the tennis season, senior year, like I had some shit to me. Like the school knew who I was. That's the dude who's won 2 straight. He's going for 3. Like he's here. And senior year, it was our final home match of our career. And we just so happened to play our rival, the same team, same two doubles partners that I had played in the state championship match the two previous seasons from Ann Arbor Green Hills. And they like we hated each other. It was like vicious tennis, like we were chirping each other. And I had not lost to them at this point in my career. I'd beat them in both the finals, I'd beat them before. It was my final home match of my career. It was the most friends, most people who had ever come out to watch a tennis match. It felt big. We got pumped, lost like 6-1, 6-2. And these rivals who had lost these emotional stakes matches to us, like, let us hear it in front of. I remember like the girl I was dating at the time was there. And I was like, oh my God, this is awful. That one hurt real bad, but then we saw them bitches in the semis in states, and I took their lunch again. It was incredible.
Hey, I'm glad you rebounded nicely. I know just from like hearing stories of my dad's career that tennis rivalries can run deep. My dad will also admit, he was humble brag on my family, put some respect on Talbot's name. He was the number one player in the state of Texas, 18 and under when he was both 17 and 18. But he would admit to you that like the tennis players in high school were not cool. That
Yeah.
he was not in the popular crowd. So shouts to you for transcending that in Michigan and the school knowing who you were. The buzz around the Waddell name.
Listen, I tried my best, but yeah, that was a heartbreak. Because when you go to states for tennis, nobody comes and watches because it's just like an all day thing, and no one It's tennis, right? But like that was the one. It's everyone's already here. Just come after school. Let's stay 45 minutes to watch Greg in the biggest match of the year. And I just got embarrassed. It was awful. All right, back to the Discord. Memory lane was fun there. T Fan says, my one big thing today is that Lego will never fall off, but they'll never be an S tier company either unless they drop their prices. Any thoughts on that?
Hmm. That's been like truly a lifelong issue for Lego. As a kid, I always remember it being the best sets were the most expensive, and you might be lucky to snag one of those per year, maybe even one every other year, unless you really saved up that allowance. It was like maybe for your birthday, maybe for Christmas, you got to pick one.
Yeah, I'm not overly familiar with buying Legos, to be honest. That's not something that's in my household at the moment, so can't comment on that. But I hear you, T fan. Sleeve says, had a thought. Bronny might actually be better than Rob Dillingham. He's a better athlete, defender, and impacts the game in more ways. Rob has to be an elite scorer to stand out with that frail frame. I'm not so sure.
Hmm. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard.
I was impressed with Bronny from what I saw in summer
Yeah,
league.
it's
I
been
don't think
really
it's a
good.
gimmick anymore.
I'm with you.
But I guess we'll wait and see. One more from Sleeve. Brooks Barnheiser is leading Summer League with 6.5 steals per game. Shout out to Northwestern and shout out to Jay Money. I hope she's tuned in. Jay Money's got to be tuned in, I think.
For sure. There's only so much like Northwestern basketball content going on right now. You kind of got to take what the Wildcats give you.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, we have a Malik Flurry. I think this is the first of the week. Happy Riley Friday, best day of the week. Just found out my job is 30 minutes from a Publix. What was that sandwich you guys said to try?
Buffalo chicken pub sub.
Anything with chicken, as long as it's like a chicken tender based pub sub, incredible. You can't go wrong. Tamara Firefly Humphreys, a female wrestler. Look her up. She has some crazy videos. Okay, Malik, thank you. Teams who have to make an Elite Eight or higher: Purdue, Kentucky, BYU, and Duke. Anything less, they are a bust. You each get to add one team and agree on the last team to make eight. I think he thought Carter would also be here, so we'd have four combined. Purdue, Kentucky, BYU, and Duke that have to make an Elite Eight or higher. Who do we want to add to that group?
Who have to or the season's going to be considered a bust?
Yes, I think that's the prompt.
I mean, my answers would be Louisville, St. John's, UNC. Those are the big spenders. I think Louisville and St. John's have a better shot, but I, I just think with Carolina, granted, look, this is some of my bias, my own fandom being weighed into it, but I think when the price tag starts coming out, when that becomes well known, you I think you getting to the Sweet 16 in my mind is not enough unless you're like a one or a two seed. You got to get to at least the Elite Eight to justify what you spent. And that's why I kind of think Louisville and St. John's are the same. We know that they have these limitless NIL budgets. You got to prove it on the court.
I'm going to steal a play from you here. I'm going to add Michigan as my submission for this. I think we need to see upward momentum from Dusty, and it was a Sweet 16 last year. Let's see an Elite Eight this year. I think it's an Elite Eight roster, so my Michigan Wolverines are added as well. Malik says Brian, Ralph, and Carter need to hash it up. Watching them do videos looks awkward. Make peace. P.S. I hear Paris ain't that great. Don't believe the movies. Malik is so special. Do you think there's chemistry issues between Ralph and Cart, Riley?
No, I don't, but I also, now that I think about it, I don't know if they've done a ton of content together. So if anything is still getting smoothed out, I would assume they just need to get a few more reps in.
Mm. Yeah, maybe just I don't know, hit the practice court or something. I don't think there's any Ralph and Carter chemistry issues, but
I think that's actually a really high upside pairing if they do get their reps in.
yeah, I
It's,
can
it's a
see that.
nice contrast of personalities for sure.
Little developmental project pairing for our network. That's what it. Give them 3 years, and Ralph and Carter will be the premier guys. All right, Donovan Mitchell, congrats on the engagement. Coco Jones is a great draft pick. Wish I could say that we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on, Malik. War Chant says Wednesday night was the final table finish of the World Series of Poker main event. Michael the Grinder Mizrachi won the main event tonight, the same year he won the PPC Poker Players Championship for the fourth time. This feat was so amazing, he was inducted into the Poker Hall of Fame on the spot after winning tonight. A very special exception to the rules of inducting players. Have you ever thought someone in a sport made such an amazing accomplishment that they should be inducted into the Hall of Fame on the spot? That's a fun question, and not where I thought that was headed at the poker ran at the beginning. Riley, your thoughts?
Yeah, me neither. I was mentally preparing to make a poker face parody about UNC this year as he was going through this. Rumma. In terms of Hall of Fame on the spot, come on, LeBron James coming back down from 3-1 against the Warriors. Go ahead and induct it. We all know what's coming.
I would love it if other sports did this. And by the way, I am a poker guy, so I was locked in that entire comment war chant. The World Series of Poker this year was fun, but I think the world and the internet would melt down if they put LeBron in the Hall of Fame the day he retired. Don't you think?
Yeah, that'd be sick though. I hope they do it.
I kind of hope so too. Hard to think of another one. Like you'd have
Like
to be. I Djokovic could probably do it for tennis.
I'm trying to think, is there any sport or any coach that's like the local legend who I guess because active college coaches can be inducted into the Hall of Fame, right? Can't that happen?
It would need to be Bill Self, but I think he's already inducted. He's already
Yeah.
been inducted.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm thinking like I know this is a bad example based on the character issues, but Bob Huggins, it seemed like he was hanging around for the longest time until he got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a reckless example. Reckless driving, just saying. All right, we're gonna move on. Fun question though. Malik says, "What do you guys got planned for the weekend?" Finally, end of flurry. I am in a golf outing with Carter on Friday, and our friend Zach Hirth, who is the reason Cart and I know each other, point guard at Albion with Cart, and then our other friend Damon. We're in a four-man scramble. We're coming for y'all. I'm talking to you, Jake Bullock. I'm coming for you. Our goal is to shoot 14 under, and we're not going to because I'm the best golfer in this group per our handicaps, and that bodes extremely poorly for us. But it should be a really fun day on Friday, and then I got my grandpa's funeral on Saturday on the east side of the state, so I'm staying the night with Card on Friday night. Are you doing more fun things than a golf scramble and a funeral this weekend, Riley?
By the time people listen to this, I'll probably be getting my final crew runs of the week. Hopefully, have a bounce back shooting performance. Saturday, I'm flying home early and we'll spend some time with Natalie, see Theo. Don't know if we have any particular plans, but maybe go out to dinner or something, get some takeout. Nothing too crazy.
Worldwide Riley Davis, man, making you stay through a Friday night in Milwaukee. That's special. Fam says, Happy Bluffs Friday. Y'all know how we rock. As we hit the halfway point of summer, what has been your favorite highlight so far? What do you want to do before Labor Day? For Bluff specifically, how do you think summer in the Carolinas differs from the Midwest?
Ooh, great question. I would say the biggest differentiating factor between summers in the Carolinas and the Midwest. I know that y'all go to the lakes, and the lakes seem cool and everything. This is not a slight against the lakes, but it feels like everybody in the Carolinas, it's always multiple beach trips. You might not see your friends for like a month and a half because if your multiple beach trips aren't coordinated when you're out of town at the same time. In terms of highlights, oh man, what is my favorite thing we've done this summer? I mean, I enjoy going to the beach, but definitely I'm more of like beach vibes kind of guy than actually enjoying being on the beach itself. I'm good to be on the beach for like an hour or two and then I'm kind of ready to go back in, but I like the vibes of just being there. Had a lot of fun pool trips with the family. Enjoyed Father's Day. All of those were good.
Mm. All right, all good answers. I mean, my honest summer highlight was the New York trip with Cart and I.
Mhm.
NBA draft was really fun. As far as like just home recreational stuff, been loving how much golf I've been playing. I mentioned bringing Murph out on the course and just good Fourth of July festivities with the fam, with the kids. Goals for me before the end of the summer. I need to touch water. I need to touch a lake. I need to touch a boat. I complained about it 4th of July weekend. It's the first 4th of July weekend. I did not make my way to water in some form, I think, in like 15 years. But luckily, I think next week I'm going to finally satisfy this desire. So that is my goal. And my other goal is lose 6 more pounds before the Benson Boone concert so that I can fit into my onesie that I'm wearing.
Why are you going to a Benson Boone concert?
I didn't tell you about this.
No, you didn't.
First off, please respect my boy Ben. Second off, it's an anniversary gift for Mal. We got Airbnb in Detroit for 2 nights, and we're doing Benson Boone night one, the Jonas Brothers night two. Mal loves the Jonas Brothers. We've seen them before, so I'm game for it. But yeah, just back-to-back concerts, 2 nights away from the kids, kidless, drinks and restaurants. Might link up with Cart and Meg one night. And yeah, Benson Boone wears like rompers. So I bought a romper that I need to lose 6 more pounds in the next month and a half to fit into.
I mean, I hope you have a wonderful anniversary trip, Gregory. Benson Boone sucks, man. He's not good.
Whoa!
He's not good.
Stop!
He stinks.
Got a great voice.
I don't know if I'd say great. He's
Great voice. If you want to knock the songs, I'm fine with it, but great voice.
okay. Okay. I'll come back to you with. Do you ever watch Anthony Fantano?
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like I will work on my Fantano impression and give you my review of Benson Boone more formally next week.
Stop. Listen, there's a lot of Benson Boone wannabes that are rightfully getting made fun of as like I forget what they call it, like the scream rock or whatever right now. I don't know. It's I get it. Like Walmart music, Old Navy music, but Benson is legitimately good. Kid's got a great voice.
I I will explore the catalog a little bit
Please
more and return to you. We can get back.
stay. I want you. I need you. Oh God, don't take these beautiful things that I've got. You
That was
gotta
actually pretty good, Greg. I'll give you that. I'll give you
gotta
that.
love it. All right. A lot of comments today. They love people get up for Riley Friday. Let me tell you. We got War Chant. Since Luke Goody didn't get his waiver, I think he should come back to the light by going after Derek Piper's jobs with Illinois Inquirer and ESPN Radio in Champaign. Luke was so good on the radio with his weekly spot with Piper when he was playing at Illinois. Luke would be very good if he got into sports media.
Yeah, he should apply for Sleepers Got Talent. Season.
We would scrap every contestant almost immediately if Luke Goody was like, I want that, wouldn't
Dude, if
we?
he wanted to be a regular contributor, he would be I just from that Draftapalooza interview, I would accept him immediately.
Yeah, he could be me if he wants. That's fine. War Chant also sent the graphic from CBK report. They did their all Big Ten teams of the 2020 so far. Who would be on your teams? We're gonna do this as a segment with Carter when he returns next week. So not gonna answer that now, but it will be addressed on the channel next week. War Chant. One more from War Chant is the day after the MLB All Star Game, the worst day of sports of the year. If not, what day do you rank as the worst day of sports of the year? This whole like month where there's nothing but golf weekends is the worst.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any way to add some originality to it. Even I love college football, I love the NFL, but even when those seasons ends, it's like it's the heart of college basketball, so I don't really feel that sadness truly until this time of year where it's like, okay, I'm ready to watch some football, you know?
Yeah, for sure. All Hail the Pope said a line just dropped in the Loserville and Cats game. Loserville -4.5. Who you betting on?
Loserville.
I'll take Kentucky. I'll take Kentucky. Sleeve Nash says if we had a sleeper's got talent for ball knowledge, who would win?
Mm, in the Discord? Is that what's implied here?
I think it could theoretically be any potential contestant for Sleeper's Got Talent,
Oh, it's got to be T Wink.
or it could be a Discord member too. Could be anybody.
Yeah, I mean, Wink is the one who sticks out to me just because he does like the film breakdowns and everything and like actually coaches.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like the basket under review guys would win a ball knowledge competition. Would be my
Which which one?
Ooh, I don't know. They're all so incredibly smart and real basketball analyzers.
But part of the struggle is the really smart ones all run together. It's hard to distinguish them from the flock.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know. They're all just incredibly intelligent. I guess I'd go Ralph because Ralph still technically works with us. So I'll play favorites. Ralph would be my pick of who would win the ball knowledge competition. Uh, do you have anything else? Or do you want to move on?
We can move on.
We can move on. Okay. Ethan Woody says, looking back, how much better should that Washington State team have been with Jalen Wells, Isaac Jones, Miles Rice, Ruben Chinyelu, and Oscar Clough? For reference, they finished as a 6 seed and lost in the first round. Yeah, they should have been really good.
Yeah, for real.
Kind of crazy. Although Miles Rice was still their point guard. So
Kyle Smith on Fraud Watch.
yeah, never forget, better than Michael Brown. Miles Rice, top 70 guy. All hail the Pope says, is Tyron Stokes the next Draymond Green?
No. What? They don't play anything alike.
Yeah, I don't think so. All Hail the Pope says, can you do the SEC returnees versus newcomers draft? That's a segment. Can't do drafts in the comments. We've kind of hit on that. We're running over. So All Hail the Pope. Respectfully, no, we cannot do that. T Staffy says, hey guys, if you could choose a college basketball player or coach for a partner for beer pong, who would you pick?
Who seems like they would have some experience handling some booze?
Oscar Clough got a mention for us in that regard this week.
Wait, is this a player or a coach?
Could be player or coach.
Oh man, Clough does seem any of the Euro guys, I feel like, ooh, let me get Ivan Karchenkov, the German kid going to Arizona.
It's a hilarious answer. Don't ask me why, but I just have this weird feeling that John Shire is a beer pong fiend. Don't you think? Don't you think like at the Duke frats, like almost Redicky, he was like constantly winning beer pong games?
He just doesn't strike me as much of like a frat party kind of guy.
Really?
Yeah, he seems a little more like clean cut.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Like
Never
Reddick definitely has that personality to be at the frat houses. But Shire to me, I don't know. I just don't get those vibes from him. But maybe it's because his image as a coach is like so professional and clean and put together. Maybe he was different when he's a student.
it'd be hard for me to not say Braden too. Just like me, if I throw first and Braden's obviously throwing second, he hits same cup and he looks to dap me after we got the 3 cup bonus. Like I think I that's all I've ever wanted to live for. Two more here. Same old Lion says, Happy Riley Friday, fellas. The joke questions I had about pregnancy was fun. We're at 5 months and reality is really setting in. My question for the fellas, when did you really start to panic about getting the house ready? We're starting to get furniture delivered, but I haven't put it together. When should I start? Finally, where did you begin with getting the nursery ready? Every time I go into the spare bedroom, I walk out almost instantly, chalking it up as a future same old Lions issue. Love the genuine question today, same old Lions. You still got a lot of time. Riley, go ahead, answer his questions.
This is truly a fantastic question. I think around 5 months was when it was that summer before Theo was born. I started cleaning out the most random crap in our garage. I made several trips to the recycling center, a trip to the dump, and just got rid of a bunch of stuff. It's really cathartic to do. In terms of the nursery, that used to be where I would record my podcast. So we had to move out. There was a futon in there. There was a desk in there. We had to clear all those out. I kind of let Natalie run from there. We painted the room, did a good job painting it. Never will paint again. That's not really my forte. I put the crib together though. Also, funny anecdote. I had no idea what a nursery was until Natalie was probably like 5 months pregnant. I just thought like, oh yeah, I'll set up Theo's crib in here with my podcast equipment and it'll go well. These are
Yeah.
things these are things people don't tell you until you really go through it. Maybe it's like natural for your wife to already have all that stuff figured out or to think about it a little bit more. But yeah, maybe I'm just a dummy. But I
No, I
didn't.
think I think you and I are speaking from the same spot where from what I know about Natalie and from what you know about Mal, we'd probably agree. Our wives run the show and just make it incredibly easy on us to show up and do our roles here. So I don't know if it's the same for you, same old Lions. I would assume your wife is a lovely woman who will probably take point on a lot of the preparation oriented things, and you just got to do your job. Like when that furniture does get delivered, you better crush that shit, my friend. You better knock that out. Like I have a very distinct memory. I think it was probably 2 months before due date where it was this. No, this must have been a little longer because it was at the end of college football season. This would have been 4 or 5 months before we had Murphy. I just watched all of the conference championship games from start to finish from noon till 9 p.m., putting together an IKEA dresser for the nursery and like ripping Jack and diets as I did it. And I had the house to myself. It was incredible. Yeah, you just got to do your part, assemble the furniture. I don't think you can do it too early. You can definitely do it too late, is what I would say. You don't want to wait till like 2 or 3 months just in case, the babies can arrive early. You never know what's going to happen.
The last thing I'll add is doing any sort of household chores like that, any sort of assembly, way, way easier when you have sports on in the background that you
Yep.
like. So that's going to be tough for him just based on how far along his wife is, but I still believe in you, same old Lions.
Just fire up like take the happiest 3 games of Michigan State this year, find them on YouTube, and just fire them on repeat. But watch Chase Richardson highlights all day, and that dresser will be built in no time. Okay, all hail the Pope. One argument against Purdue is who will be their first round NBA pick. I think you need one of those to win the championship. Also, who is their year 2 transfer that will take a leap?
That's actually some pretty good points. Do they have a year two transfer? Am I forgetting someone, Greg?
No,
They don't have any
not
year
this
two.
year. They don't because they didn't bring in any transfers last year.
Maybe Meyer is the eventual first round pick, which I think even if he's not the immediate one, like having someone with that upside, I think helps and checks that box.
I might be riding for my guy, and I have a feeling Sleeve's going to leave a comment that's like, "That's ridiculous, Greg." After hearing this, there's a world that Braden Smith is taken in the late 20s.
Yeah, I'm with
Like
you.
he just needs to be incredible this year, and they win. It could happen. All right, there's our comments. Thank you. Discord loves you, Riley Davis. Riley Fridays always get the people going. We are brought to you by NBA 2K Lab. Go to NBA2KLab.com to see more. CFBLab.com if you want all of their college football 26 content. Go check it out. We are also brought to you by our friends at LabCorp. Let's hear a word from LabCorp now. Today's video is sponsored by LabCorp On Demand. Car, be honest with me, my friend. Have you ever had your testosterone levels checked?
No, I always figured I didn't need to unless something felt seriously wrong.
Well, that's the thing. Low testosterone doesn't always hit you like a truck. It creeps up on you through things like low energy, brain fog, irritability, trouble sleeping, weight gain, and even low libido. And I know you struggle with most of those things, but most guys just chalk that up to stress or getting older.
So you're saying it's actually possible something's off and we just don't know it?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's why I love what today's video sponsor, LabCorp On Demand, is doing. With their men's health tests, you can get a comprehensive look at your hormone levels, including total testosterone, without even going to the doctor. All you have to do is purchase your test, provide a sample at a LabCorp service center, and your sample will be collected using the same methods as your doctor. No need to even prick your own finger.
Wait. So there's no doctor's appointments at all.
No, you can purchase the test directly from LabCorp On Demand. Plus, testing is performed at LabCorp's CAP accredited CLIA certified clinical laboratories, the same kind used by doctors, processing about 3 million samples every week. That way, you know you're getting real, accurate results.
So that's all good and well, but how fast do the results actually come in?
As early as the next day, you'll get an email when they're ready, and you can view them online through your LabCorp patient account. The results are super easy to read. And if something requires urgent attention, LabCorp may even contact you by phone.
Man, I didn't even realize how much testosterone levels can affect stuff like mood, focus, and energy. And no one really talks about it unless it's extreme.
I know, but even subtle changes can impact your day to day life. And getting tested now can help you catch issues before they become bigger problems, especially if you're in your 30s or 40s and starting to feel off.
Man. So if someone who's been feeling more tired than usual or just not quite themselves, this could be the check-in that you need.
Definitely. And right now, you can get 20% off your men's health test by visiting our sponsor at tryelco.com/sleepersmedia. It's simple, affordable, and honestly, kind of empowering to have this info about your body.
Take the guesswork out of your health and go check it out.
Topic one, what is it, my friend?
All right, Greg, I'm going to give you a little teaser at all three topics today. There is a rhyming scheme, so just know that on the front end. This first topic we're going to talk through is top 10 small guys. And what that means is I'm going to try to collaborate with you on a list of the 10 best guys in the country who are 6 foot and under. Now, where we might run into some issues, I looked through depth charts last night. I made my own list. there's not a lot of good guys under 6 feet. So we might have to expand it to 6'1", but I at least wanted to start by doing the top 10 small guys and seeing if we could hit that benchmark of all under 6 feet.
Okay, I absolutely love this. Are you going to be our official height ruler on this when we nominate guys? You have to fact check it.
Yes, and I would even say with some of the guys who might be 6'1", they can get away with it more easily if they are like slight of frame as well. You know, like someone like Tahad Pettiford. I'll go ahead and spoil that. He is 6'1", but he's skinny. I think he could qualify for this.
Okay, I'm in. I like this. All right. Do you have names at the top you want to run through, or do you want me to just start firing at you?
I have four undisputed, surefire have to be on the list. Probably the top, yeah, probably 1 through 4 in some capacity, and then we can have some flexibility after that.
Hit me. It's got to be Braden Smith first, right?
Braden's one, of course. Which
Okay.
honestly, when I was doing this, I was thinking it would be fun because I'm like, oh, we talk about Braden a lot. We rank him the top of every guard list. He's got to be taller than 6 foot. Looked it up. Sure enough, he's not. So Braden Smith, congratulations. You're number one on yet another sleepers list. Thank you for tuning into the program. I hope you're listening to this right now. If you want to screenshot this, post it on your Insta so it's not just Dion getting some love, but it's, RD. Nah, never mind. You can do that as well. So Braden at number one, Josh Hubbard, Jackson Shellstad, and Marcus Burton were my next three that I think have to be on this list.
Hubbard. Okay. I'm fine with that. Hubbard. Shellstat is very small. We saw him at the Final Four. That's absolutely true. And who was the fourth? Sorry?
Marcus Burton.
Marcus Burton. He's a small guy. How big is Pettiford? Is he taller than this?
So Pettiford is listed at 6'1". Let me pull this up real quick. He is carry the two, 6'1", 170.
Does he qualify?
I think Pettiford should qualify, and I would probably move him. Would you move him ahead of Shellstad?
I'd probably move him to two behind Braden.
I think I would too.
Okay, we're gonna do that then. Pettiford at two, Braden Smith at one, Hubbard at three, Shellstat four, Burton at five. I have no issues with those whatsoever. Now we're just like frantically searching additional heights, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So what I will ask you, would you take Hubbard over Shellstad? I know that's quick semantic, but
I actually would not, but I'm on record not being a Hubbard guy. But I don't
I actually
care
think I would do.
much.
I think I would take Shellstad ahead of Hubbard as well, so we can swap those two.
Okay. I have one name who's listed at 6'1" that I would take higher than Shellstad.
Who's that?
Rob Wright.
That was who I thought you were going with.
Yep.
I think I'm good with Wright. He's listed at 183, which is maybe slightly over the threshold, but he looks a little he seems kind of small. Not in a negative way, but you're not blown away by his measurables, let's say.
What do we do with heights that are clearly lies?
So give me some examples.
Christian Anderson's not 6'2".
Yeah, but I'm disqualifying Christian Anderson from this segment.
Christian Anderson's too big for the small guys
He
list?
is. If you're listed at 6'2",
He's not
if
6'2".
you're listed at it, I'm taking your program's word for it, and I want to give some love to some guys who are actually small.
God, you rule with an iron fist. He's not 6'2", but I digress. Does Taman Lipsy qualify?
He's too heavy. He's listed at 200 pounds.
That's heavy. That's a big boy.
I think you could talk me into Gillespie qualifying. You could talk me into Aiden Holloway qualifying. You could talk me into Junie Mobley qualifying. You could talk me
Do we
into
call him Junie?
what'd you say?
Do we call him Junie Mobley?
I've heard that nickname, so
That's
I'm
an incredible nickname. Now I'm going to put Junie Mobley on the list.
should we put Junie at number 6 behind Marcus Burton?
It'd be number 7 based on what we have right now. But yes, Braden Smith, Pettiford, Rob Wright, Shellstad, Hubbard, Burton, Mobley, 7.
I like that.
I like that too. We need 3 more.
What about Frankie Collins on 901 Vanderbilt?
Yuck. Can't do that. I think Gillespie here.
Where would you? I would probably put Gillespie. I can't tell. I would probably put Gillespie between Wright and Shellstad.
I think Gillespie's honestly probably a better player than Rob Wright right now, but I'm so high on a Rob Wright breakout eventually that I'm good on putting Gillespie behind him.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
All right, we need 2 more. This one isn't exactly fun anymore, but Nigel Pack should probably be here.
I thought about him, but they're too short. They're like two true short kings I would take over Nigel Pack
Ooh,
with
who?
Booby Miller and Doug McDaniel.
Yeah, you're right. God, I can't believe I didn't think of Doug till now. Okay, I'm good with both of those. Can we put Doug 9?
Yeah, we can put Doug 9 and then Boopy 10.
Okay, that sounds good. So top 10 small guys in college basketball officially. Braden Smith 1, Todd Pettiford 2, Rob Wright 3, Jacoby Gillespie 4, Jackson Shellstead 5, Josh Hubbard 6, Marcus Burton 7, Junie Mobley 8, Doug McDaniel 9, Boopy Miller 10. But I think a more fascinating conversation here, rather than ranking the top small guys, is really how much does height actually factor into a successful program? Can you really run a schematically elite offense, Riley, X's and O's wise, if you are operating with a point guard under 5'10"?
Let me check CBB analytics and I will get back to you on that.
Thank you
Can I,
for that.
can,
That's,
well, can I give you a couple honorable mentions just to
oh,
engagement farm a little bit?
oh, please. Sorry. No, we don't do that here though. We don't engagement farm. We're
Yeah, too elite for that. But I just want to give a brief mention to Trey Green going from Xavier to St. Louis, someone who I loved on the EYBL circuit a couple years ago, and I really want him to break out. And Ahmad Noel going from UConn to VCU. Both
yeah.
guys 6 feet. Both guys I loved in high school, who I hope moving down to the A10 will allow them to thrive.
Do
So
you still believe in the Ahmad Noel breakout? Because I do. I think it's gonna work.
he feels like a VCU guard, and yeah, it just feels like a perfect pairing of player and program.
I like it too. All right, there you have it. Let's get to our next. For our second topic today, we're going to do the top 10 tall guys in
That
college
is
basketball.
great, great read by you, Gregory. I'm going to go ahead and say you're not going to be able to get topic three that rhymes, but congratulations on guessing number two.
I have a
Top 10,
guess. I have a guess.
top 10 tall guys, they have to be 7 feet tall or at the very worst, 6'11, but bulky. But I think there's enough 7 footers to make a pretty good list here.
7 foot is the cut line. Okay, rattle them through. I feel like you have a full list prepared. Let's do it.
So yeah, this one I have less what's the word I'm looking for? Less guys who I would say are undisputed on here. I think Thomas Slavovicic has to be number one though.
Really?
Yeah,
Tom Ivisic is the best 7 footer in CBB?
I think so. Unless, so some other names that I highlighted that I want to make the case for. Of course, I got to push for my guy Henry Vasar, which I'm sure you'll push back on given
Yuck.
recent developments and highlight tapes. Johan Grunlow at Virginia, Motias Krivas at Arizona, Mustafa Tom at UCF, Christoph Tilley at Ohio State. Those are all guys who I'm like, I like these players that I want to advocate on behalf of. The only other obvious like 7 footer who I would say has been like super productive, Nate Biddle and Oscar Clough. Both of them could make a case here. I
Love's
think
actually listed at 6'11 at what I'm looking at.
also, you know what? Now that I realize when I said, oh, for the top 10 tall guys, I said you either got to be 7 feet or you have to be 6'11 and bulky. For some reason, I was thinking like bulk and height are the synonymous, and they're very much not. So
Mm.
that kind of that pushes back against my Clough argument because I remember him being under 7 foot, but he's like a big dude. We can try it with just the true 7 footers if
Let's try with just true 7 footers because I think we can get a list, and maybe if worst case scenario, this will get a little I don't know, obscure, and it'll be kind of fun trying to find one. What about Big Jew at Georgetown? He hasn't exactly been great, but Julius Halifanua is 7 foot.
So yeah, he was on my list as someone I wanted to advocate for in like the 8 to 10 range. He's definitely projecting a breakout, but it's not completely unfounded based on how I shouldn't even say he had some really nice stretches at the FIBA U19 World Cup where you saw the passing touch, you saw the touch in the mid post as well, to where I think he could have a big role for Georgetown this year. Ade Mara I put on my list under consideration if you want to make your case for him.
I think Morrow's going to end up cracking it. Also, like every behind the scenes account on how this has gone thus far says that Morrow's been Michigan's best center. So I'm buying the offseason hype there. I don't like saying it out loud because I am well documented that I'm a Merez guy over a Mara guy. But if Mara's just good, Dusty's going to play him so much as a 7'3" dude.
I will negotiate with you and say we can throw Mara in the top five, maybe even top three, as long as we can throw Vasar in there somewhere.
Vasar's on the list for sure.
All right.
Vasar and Krivas are both on the list. I think Krivas has to be ahead of Vasar, though.
I'm okay with that. I would say I think that involves a little bit of projection, but I think given the opportunity Krivas will have, plus the flashes he showed as a freshman, his footwork and his hands are so good. And I was honestly disappointed he didn't put it all together last year before the injury. But maybe as a post-hype sleeper with a clear path to playing time, I think with Awaka being more of a role player, yeah, I could see him cracking even the top five.
Okay. All right. So we are gonna put Tom Ivisic one, which is kind of crazy. I just didn't realize he's the best seven. We feel like we're coming off an era where there were a bunch of great 7-footers, Kalk and Dickinson, and now it's just like, okay, not really. So interesting. Tom Ivisic is the best 7-footer here. Can we go Krivas 2, Visar 3, Mara 4?
We might have to bump all those guys down one and put Biddle too, just based on production.
We can put Biddle in the top. We
I'm
want to put
not a
Biddle second.
Yeah, I don't even love Biddle the player, but I think when you're looking at Krivas, Vesar, and Mara, and Tilly to a lesser extent, he's another guy who I'm pretty high on. There is some projection going forward
Is
with
Alex Condon not 7 foot?
he's 6'11".
I'm gonna stand for Hand Logton at some point.
I like sliding hand Logton in there as the under the radar guy. Let
I
me make sure
think,
Condon's is yeah, he's 6'11".
yeah. All right,
Do we
Hand
want to
Logton's
put
gonna be there.
do we want to put Mustafa Tom at 5?
Tom should be there. I don't know 5 though.
What about Tilly at 5?
You taking Tilly or Mara?
Tomato, tomato, to be honest with you. I think it's kind of a wash. Tilly's highlights are sick, but I can't say I was super locked into Santa Clara full games last year.
Tilly's definitely a better offensive player, but Mara is pretty elite defensively, and I don't feel that way about Tilly.
Let's put Tilly at 6. That feels right for him.
Okay. Mara 5, Tilly 6.
Johan Grunlow 7, Mustafa Tom 8.
You really want Grunlow?
Yeah, I want Grunlow on there.
All right, I'll give you that. I don't feel great about it, but okay.
I like giving the caveat that Mustafa Tom could have been the top 5 if he didn't choose to play for Wes Miller.
That's fair. Okay, I think Han Logton needs to get the national championship bump here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna put Han Logton 9. You want to put Will Berg 10? Just kidding. There's two names I actually think could be 10 here, unless you have somebody else. Both are
So
breakout candidates, though.
the guys I would have in that category as the breakouts would be Julius Halafanoa and Matas Vokiatitis at Texas. And then this is like a we see you, Connor Hope, and acknowledge your existence with Harry Wessel, the St. Mary's big.
Yeah, ugh, yuck, 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 yuck.
You're not giving Connor any love for the WCC.
Yuck, yeah. Honestly, I'm giving Connor love by not acknowledging a St. Mary's guy. I think that's the right way to play this. I would advocate for one of these two instead. Purdue, Daniel Jacobson, or just take the eventual hype of reuniting with his brothers, Zvonimir Ivisic.
I'm putting Jacobson pretty comfortably before Zavana.
You're just out on Big Z at this point?
I'm out on Big Z.
Are you really?
Yeah, it saddens me because I was a huge Big Z fan after the Georgia game, the infamous Georgia game where he was awesome for 8 minutes. But I just feel like you hear too much of him being. I mean, you can see it on the tape. He gets targeted defensively. I don't think the SEC coaches are high on him as a defensive player. And I just worry that kind of the fun and the hype and the mysticism has all faded. And he's going to be nothing more than a 15-minute per game guy this year,
Okay.
which might be true for Han Logton, but Han Logton is a national champ, so he gets the bump.
This is true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong whatsoever. I'm fine with that. I think that's the right answer. All right. So our top 10 tall guys, Thomas Slavovicic, Nate Biddle, Motavis Krivas, Henry Vesar, Ade Mara, Christoph Tilly, Johan Grunlow, Mustafa Team, Micah Hanlockton, Daniel Jacobson. That feels pretty good.
That does feel like a really good list.
Are we
Very
doing a good job today? This is shocking. For our third and final topic today, the top 10 bald guys in college basketball.
It's a great guess, Greg, but it is not that. It is the top 10 season before fall guys. And by that I mean by that I mean summer league. I want to redraft the NBA lottery based on what we've seen from summer league so far.
Okay.
And I
All
kind of
right.
wanted
I
to
like
make this.
this.
I wanted to do a collaborative effort. I don't really want to go back and forth like we've done before. I want to get your because I kind of want to get your thoughts because I feel very strongly about my top four, in kind of my top six, but I still could be talked out of a couple of these guys.
I love it. Riley Davis. I think this is fun as hell. Number one, Cooper Flag's not moving.
Correct. Unfortunately, the goatee is like screaming at me like the Green Goblin mask, like move him down, move him down, move him down. But he still is hooping, even if he needs a razor.
Yeah, it
Uh,
still wasn't the sexiest summer for him, but I don't know. The 31 point game bought him some time, and they
yep.
clearly didn't care how he performed in summer league, so that's not moving. I think to me, the Spurs aren't moving off Harper at two either, but you could convince me otherwise.
No, I'm keeping Harper at two. I know again, not the sexiest performances, hasn't been the most efficient, but when I was in the airport earlier this week before flying to Milwaukee, I caught a Spurs Summer League game. And it's just all the physical tools of Dylan Harper that still pop. I would say his finishing at the rim, despite not being like this crazy athlete, he just understands body control and angles, all of that so well. Looked really good off ball too. I don't think he's going to be ball dominant, which even checks out. He ranked out pretty well in all the synergy numbers off ball at Rutgers too. So yeah, I'm keeping him comfortably number two.
All
Number
right,
three,
at three, the Sixers took VJ Edgecombe. Do you have a shakeup?
yes, I do. No, VJ, you are not the number three pick. Trey Johnson, welcome to the top three. You should have been there all along.
I have loved everything with Trey Johnson. I've actually made some money betting Trey Johnson points overs in summer league, the degenerate that I am. But you think he's been sizably better than VJ? Because I think Sixers fans would say that they loved what they saw from VJ too.
Okay, that's fair. I BJ, it's still like the questions about the jumper. He hasn't shot it particularly well. The offense hasn't been efficient. Some of the same questions we had at Baylor, where he's going to be a demon on the defensive side of things. But what's the feel? What's the craftiness on the other end? And yeah, how is that going to translate to where with me, Trey Johnson has been showing the full arsenal of his scoring, which again, we've known this about him. He scored 20 points per game every step of the way, except 1 year at Link Academy. I don't know how he didn't get there. But it's the quotes about defense that have really impressed me too. I don't know if you saw that press conference with him where he was saying the coaching staff has been 100% focused on my defense. They know I can score. Scoring comes easily for me, so I'm just locking in defensively. Where I'm like, this kid gets it, and I've loved him for as long as I've been watching him in high school to last year, to where he is sort of my guy. But yeah, I would put him number three.
I'm fine with it. I would have taken him that high in the draft anyway. I had him, I think, third on my big board. So I've loved everything we've seen. How far are you going to make VJ fall? At four, the Hornets took Khan. What are you thinking?
So I think the fourth best player, based on what we've seen in summer league, is Derek Queen. If the Hornets want a guard, though, I think they should take VJ over Khan. Khan's one of those guys who, like, just after watching Summer League, I know he's had some moments, but I'm like, I wouldn't fight you if you said, yeah, move him either further down the lottery or just outside of the lottery.
I could go either way on it. I feel like the Hornets need a big, don't they?
They have Mark Williams, who was in trade talks. Aside from him,
I thought they moved Mark. Am I wrong on that?
oh, you're right. Shoot, that's on me. Sorry, bad prep.
No, you're
I
fine.
I
I'm
knew
like
he
vaguely
was.
remember. Yeah, the Suns got Mark
That's
Williams.
right. That's on me. Yeah, that. Wow. Their front court right now is Mason Plumlee, Drew Peterson on a two-way, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and Musa Diabate.
Yeah, yuck. All right, so
Yeah,
let's
they're
go
taking Derek
Queen.
Queen. They're taking Derek Queen for sure.
Only question I have. You sure they're not taking Hanson Yang?
Okay, Yang is definitely in the lottery at this point, I think.
Yeah, we clowned the pick on draft night live on Bleacher Report, and he looks very tantalizing. The passing stuff looks real. I'm fine with Queen if you want it for.
Yeah, let's go. Queen gets the edge for now, but we don't have to let Yang fall too much farther if we don't want to.
Okay. The Jazz at five, I think, would immediately scoop up VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Six is the Wizards, who are now screwed. I love screwing over the Wizards. Do the Ace Bailey debacle?
I think they take Jeremiah Fears.
He's been bad in summer league though.
He was good last night. He had like 22 and 6 assists or something like that.
Okay. He
Yeah.
I somebody the only tweet I saw on him was that he has 18 turnovers to 3 assists.
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. Maybe I need to do a little deeper dive on Jeremiah. Okay, can I if they want a guard, can I try to sell you on Jace here?
Ooh, this high?
It feels high, but Jace has been so good. Jace is
Yes.
shooting like 70% at the rim. It doesn't matter that he's short.
I mean, you're right. It's true. You're not wrong.
What is the Wizards front court situation like? Because I'm thinking they targeted a guard with Trey Johnson, so that's where my I first gravitate to. Because if hell, you could sell me on Hanson Yang here.
I mean, you got Sar.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big piece. I think everything else is still in rebuild mode.
Sar and Yang together is kind of intriguing.
You do we want to take Hansen Yang at 6? Wouldn't
Let's
they just take Ace Bailey, even if it's like
redraft.
iffy? Ace had one good summer league game.
I
I
really
don't think Ace would drop. They're not. No one's taking Hansen Yang over
okay,
Ace,
fine. Let's take Ace. Let's take Ace.
even if it feels gross. Ace Bailey goes where I think he belonged inherently in the first place, to Washington. 7 is the Pelicans, who took Jeremiah Fears on draft night and then traded in for Derek Queen. Derek Queen is now gone. I
This
guess the question for me here would be, do you want Jace over Fears or a different guard, or do you stay with Fears?
or do you want Hanson Yang since you need your big man?
Yeah, maybe value wise, you take the big man here and then go get a guard when they trade back in later.
Yeah, you. I would say you take Yang here and hope that one of Fears or Richardson falls to you.
Do you take Yang over Baron J? Because Baron J's also been really good.
Baron J has been good. I think I would lean Yang just because he has the passing and the threes that I don't think Baron J has.
All right, Hanson Yang goes 7th to the Pelicans. At 8, we're now Brooklyn. I hated Brooklyn's draft, and they took Jaeger in real time. Would they change this up or no?
I think Yegor falls out of the lottery based on what we've seen in Summer League. I think this would be appropriate for Jace. Jace was going in this range before he measured short.
It's just hard to say because like what I would do is so different than what Brooklyn would do. But I think you're right. Jace deserves to go this high based on what we've seen. So let's put Jace 8 to Brooklyn. At 9 is the Raptors. They took Murray Boyles in the real draft. Um, can I throw out something here?
Yeah, please do.
I think they would take Carter Bryant.
I think they would too. I think
Carter
Bryant.
Bryant's been a dog and really won people over defensively in the mentality stuff. I think he would fit in well with Toronto.
I like that a lot.
All right, Carter Bryant goes 9. Sorry, Spurs. At 10, it was Man Man, who ended up traded to the Suns as part of the Kevin Durant trade. So this pick would go to Phoenix. I think they might still just take Man Man or take Baron J instead.
Hmm. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. Like some guys who I think should crack the lottery based on what they've done in Summer League. Neat Clifford's been awesome. He's putting up like 18 to 20 points every night with 5 or 6 rebounds and 5 or 6 assists. Asa Newell has been really good, where if you wanted to go for a big man with maybe a little more versatile offense. Um, and then Liam McNeely, I think Liam McNeely's quietly been better than Khan to where I wouldn't hate that. Like he had like a 20 and 12 game with he might have had 5 or 6 assists too. Um,
Yeah, I'm good with all of those. I also think Khan wouldn't fall out of the lottery too.
yeah.
So basically, we're looking at those. I think it's Baron J, McNeely, Khan, Neat Clifford. And then we have one more spot, technically 5. We're just kind of placing where these guys would go. I
Yeah.
think Man Man still goes. I
I
think.
think Man Man still goes too, especially when you like the defensive, even though he hasn't put up huge counting stats in Summer League, but if you watch the clips, like there's Suns accounts tweeting him out of him blocking shots and altering shots, it's like, okay, yeah, this makes sense why you still spend a lottery pick on
So
him.
let's put Maluak still to the Suns at
I'm good with that.
10. At 11 is the Blazers, who traded this to Memphis. Memphis took Cedric Coward. To me, this could be Neat Clifford. This could also be McNeely or Khan.
I would go Neek here, just in the sense of like instead of taking what Cedric Coward could be, just take the player who Cedric Coward could be with Neek Clifford.
All right, Neat Clifford goes 11 to Memphis. 12 is Chicago. This feels Liam McNeely-y.
Liam over Essengay. Essengay has been pretty good. I know he got dunked on by Johnny Furphy, but I
He shouldn't be in the league after that dunk.
Okay, let's put McNeely there. That's
McNeely's been really good. He's the guy I look the most wrong about from pre-draft right now. All right, 13 and 14. I still have Baron J best available. You mentioned Ace and Newell, and I do think Khan's got to come off in the lottery still. So
Mhm.
13, this was the pick that went to New Orleans, and they already got Hansen Yang.
So they could take Jeremiah Fears. He's
Oh,
still on
I
the
forgot
board.
Fears is still here.
Would you take Fears or would you take Khan?
Take Fears. You can't, yeah. I forgot Fears is still there. You got to take Fears.
So does
And
Khan just land in San Antonio?
San Antonio's at 14. God, man, Baron J though, he's been good. I don't think
Yeah.
Baron J would fall out of this lottery.
So the Spurs are looking at they could consider Newell, but I love Ace and Newell. I'll take off my Ace and Newell fan club glasses for a second and say he can go pick 15. So they're looking at yeah, I'm good between Khan and Baron J.
Let's just do Khan just to be safe. It feels
Yeah.
weird having Khan drop that far, but Baron J at 15 is now great value. He probably should have been taken in this redraft. All right, so redrafting our lottery based off of what we saw in Summer League. Number one, Cooper Flag. Two, Dylan Harper. Three, Trey Johnson. Four, Derek Queen. Five, EJ Edgecombe. Six, Ace Bailey. Seven, Hanson Yang. Eight, Jace Richardson. Nine, Carter Bryant. That feels like the trio we overreacted to. 10, Come On Maluak. 11, Neat Clifford. 12, Liam McNeely. 13, Jeremiah Fears. 14, Con Knipple.
Let me just say I love the overreactions. I love the overreaction tier. I'm glad Jace is back where he belongs. I'm glad that Yang went from me and Dion saying he's going to be running 4 and 5 pick and rolls with Armando Bacot in the G League on a team he was never going to play for to be the top 7 pick. This is what you get.
Yeah, good job, Riley. I appreciate it. One big thing presented by NBA 2K Lab and presented by Lab Corp. Riley, what do you have?
Outside food. Outside food.
Meaning
Taking
what?
don't take outside food into a different establishment. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're at a coffee shop, don't be bringing in your breakfast from whatever chain is of your choice. It's disrespectful to the fine retail workers in there. It's just always something that kind of grinds my gears. I don't know why. To me, it just seems like why are you bringing in food from another restaurant to sit on someone else's patio? I saw it happen earlier this week, and I made a mental note of it. It's just something that doesn't sit right with me.
Mm, okay. I appreciate that sentiment. I think I agree with that sentiment. My one big thing, I would like to officially condemn the ESPYs as dead. I put on the ESPYs last night. I used to like watching the ESPYs a good amount. When I was a kid growing up, it felt like a big momentous occasion. And I had no expectation, didn't even know that it was last night. Saw that it was on, flipped it on, watched most of it before we did our Sleepers Got Talent recording. And I must say, I just think it's lost all its juice. I think, and this isn't even about like the monologue. I know that was sort of the big debate was, did you love or hate Shane Gillis's monologue? In general, I find Shane Gillis funny. I'm not like his biggest stan, but I think he's funny. I thought he did a fine job with the jokes he wrote. They weren't all for me, but it wasn't bad. But there was zero juice in that building. I mean, the whole he was bombing because everyone just sat there like grumpy like this. And I can understand why, because they weren't the greatest jokes. But like, I don't know, there was just no juice in the building the entire night. As people started to go up for their awards, it just felt, I don't know, it felt like there was zero juice. So I think we need to redo the ESPYs somehow. We need to fix the ESPYs, find the magic that we found when I was a child watching Justin Timberlake sing about sports. And I don't know how we do it, Riley, but I want to do it.
That's a great point. I think about like the peak of the ESPYs when we were in high school when Chris Johnson was CJ2K and he was winning Athlete of the Year. Like that stuff felt like it mattered. And that wasn't even in the social media era in the sense that, it was Twitter was not what it is today, nor Facebook was probably still on top. TikTok and Instagram didn't exist. And maybe some of it is just the nostalgic effect of things are just cooler when you're a little kid. But yeah, I would like to see it become a thing again because it was always one of those like summer benchmarks where I never necessarily made plans to watch it, but then I would see that it was on and always tune in.
Yeah, always. And it was always enjoyable. But I can tell you, I watched all of the ESPYs last night and enjoyed none of it. It was not good. None of it was good. Confused by it, to say the least. But there's my plea. That's the show. We will be back next week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll see you then. Have a good weekend, everybody.